1, 2, 3.
Hi guys.
Hey guys! Welcome back to episode 2 of our God's Favorite Podcast. Yay!
Hey guys, today we're going to be talking with an incredible woman, and she doesn't like being called that, but she's going to tell us about her journey through Christ in her point of view. But before we start, I just want to ask between us girls, who is a woman in history that you have been inspired by greatly? I'm going to start it off. When I was younger, I used to read about this book called Mia, and she basically was. I really connected to it because when she was younger, she would play soccer with these boys in her neighborhood, and it felt like I feel like I also had that type of understanding because if we didn't get to play soccer, we wouldn't be able to do anything else because that was what my brothers did. That was what everyone around us did. So like we kind of followed the trend on that. How about you guys? Lun?
I'd say Amelia Earhart just because she was the first female to fly across the Atlantic Ocean solo, and I think that's pretty cool. Like to be able to be the first one to fly, and then you know, and solo. I just think that's really cool as a female.
I think Malala was a very influential person as she fought for a woman's right for education in Pakistan, and I think education is a really big part of our lives. So, yeah.
To continue into that, and I just want to introduce Looney Tunes. Most people call her Ulun, but we like to call her Looney. Can you give us like an introduction personally about yourself?
I'm not gonna say my age, but I'm a college student, a part-time college student at the moment. I am a Sunday school teacher's assistant at church. I lead a small group service every other Friday, and I help my brothers with their sushi store maybe once or twice a week, and that's about it.
And not to mention, she was also a former media member.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
But that
she's.
was years ago, so.
I mean, sometimes she's kind enough to lend us her skills in our department because, like I said last episode, some of our media people lacking some parts. But you know what? Where some lack, others can prevail. Um, to dive right into it, guys. What are like some challenges do you guys face as a woman in like in any of our fields? I mean, because Luni is a also a National Guard member.
Oh,
Is that what you call yourself?
yeah. I guess, yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I'm in the Army National Guard for Georgia.
this is
Yeah,
like
I'd
5 years,
say
6 years.
I've been in for 4.5 years now.
Dude, a whole president went by.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
We don't need to talk about that politically, but
Yeah.
I was just thinking like since you're in the military, I feel like when I was in school, there was a lot of male dominancy, and then being looked down upon as a woman, it was just a little harsh on my ego, like my pride. Sometimes it's like the guys could do 20 push-ups. Okay, let me do like 30. Sorry, I can't really do 30, but I'm gonna attempt it and be kind of funny with it. Like,
Yeah, it is some discrimination here and there. Like they would be like, "Oh, you females are all like y'all are weaker than us." And I know that like um I guess like physically, like as a female, we're born weaker than males, but it's just how like they always bring it up and stuff like that, and then they always think they're like better and smarter.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I wouldn't ever participate in like any school like sports events ish kind of because there's so many tryhards and like so yeah, there's just so many tryhards and just like we're obviously not gonna do the best as the males do it. So I just like just watch back, spectate what's going on and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd say it's very hard to be a woman.
but I feel like, I feel like you've been doing a really good job, especially between the church. Like, you just went on deployment. What, last year? Was it last year?
Yeah.
Like, you tell us about it. Like, what was it like being on deployment?
It was, for me, I think it was a fun experience. I made a lot of great new friends. Um, I got closer with God, and I just got to experience a new country. It was nice.
Was it what? I don't want to say
I
it.
went to Kuwait and Jordan. I went to
Mhm.
Jordan for a mission while in Kuwait, and I was in Jordan for about a month, and that was pretty cool. I also made like new friends there as well because I was separated from my other friends, so then I had to like make new friends. So I think like when for me, the deployment really like helped me like um broaden my, not broaden, like broaden, yeah, I no, um it just made me more outgoing, honestly. It helped me improve myself as a better person. Yeah.
So I have a question. We talked about this in the last podcast a little bit. So if you haven't watched the last podcast, go watch it. So we talked about school and stuff like that, and how people are afraid to lose their faith with God. So how do you maintain your faith without? You haven't gone to church for like when you were in Kuwait and stuff like that. You were gone for like a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you maintain your faith?
For me, well, when we were in Kuwait, they have established churches there. So like you could go to like Protestant church, Catholic church. They have like Jews service, Muslim service, whichever you want to go to. I go to the Protestant one. And then I switch over to the gospel one. It was just like better timing, I guess, for me. And so they have service there, they have Bible studies there, they have like women's Bible study, they have men's Bible study, they have prayer nights, worship nights. It's just depending on how your schedule fits with the Bible study. Whenever you're free, you can go. And then like after a while, our schedule, like my schedule started being different to where I can't go to the Bible studies anymore. So then we'll just me and like my friends and I, we will just create our own Bible study group, and then we'll just do our own Bible study for whenever we could. Yeah.
Right. That's very cool. So, um, what was I gonna say? Oh, what are some like advice you can give to like the younger people or like people that are going into college or like that want to pursue in like a long term um career that won't like be able to like go to church regularly, or how do you what life advice would you give to those kids?
I
Like,
think I would say pray. I think prayer is the strongest um thing that could get you closer to God. It just helps, and it just helps you like mentally sometimes when you're feeling weak, when you feel like, oh, I feel like depression is going to hit me, I have anxiety, this and that, just pray. You don't even have to go to church. If there's no church in the community, you don't have to um like burden yourself by that. You can listen to sermons, Christian music even. I think even if you like, even if you have a hard time with what's it called, like when you have a hard time focusing on something,
ADHD, having ADHD, kind of, cause
something like that. Anyways, yeah, when you have that type of stuff, it's hard to listen to sermons. So I say like listen to praise and worship, um, or like if you like rap, listen to rap music, and it just changes your whole vibe, your whole energy. Because if you're listening to like secular music, you're feeding yourself with the bad energy. You know what I mean? Like the bad vibes. So then if you listen to like more Christian songs, you're filling your soul and body with more like godly instead of worldly. You know what I mean?
I like totally feel that because I think throughout high school, like I had this experiment like one morning I just listen to secular music. That's it.
Mhm.
Rap, like all the secular music that you can think of, with all like the bad connotations of it.
Mhm.
And like, man, I don't know why I just felt really slumped. Like I just didn't want to do my assignment. I just felt like going home every second. I mean, like as high schoolers, of course we're gonna want to go home every second. But at the same time, when I like switch my music to like Christian music, at least for a week,
Mhm.
I like felt so happy, and I just wanted to just like mess with people and just show them the joy of Jesus. And I just wanted to spread the gospel.
Yeah.
But I feel like spreading the gospel is a little scary at times, because like how can we as like Christians like spread gospel to people that we barely understand the gospel ourselves, right?
Right.
And then like we were talking about last week, to spread the gospel but doing it in a godly manner, like
Mhm.
not to like bring someone down by using the word, saying you're gonna go to hell if you don't like focus on God. Like, did you have any moments like during your deployment where you felt like you reached out to a person that needed God? Because I really love the concept of you doing a small group,
Mhm.
and I feel like God wanted you to make that small group, because
Yeah.
now you come home and now you're leading another small group. Like, I
Right.
thought that was amazing.
Thank you. Yes, I have friends that didn't really go to like church every Sunday while we were overseas,
Mhm.
and I would be like, "Hey, you should come join us." Blah blah blah. At first, it was just me and Bella, and then our group grew.
Mhm.
By the end of deployment, like by the time we were about to come home, we had like three other people coming to church with us every Sunday. It was, yeah. I would say like you could try, if you want to influence your friends to come, you don't force it upon them, but be like, you should come try it out, see how it feels. If you don't like it, maybe another church is a better fit for you. um I guess don't push just one church upon them, because every church is different. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
our church is more like
Our church now.
outgoing, and then maybe they're more
Uh
into
huh.
like they're more like introverted, and they want to go to like a more like softer church vibe. It's not just one thing. And I think, yeah, I think my biggest advice, like I said earlier,
Mhm.
is pray. Like, if you want to influence somebody, tell them, pray to God about it, because prayer is a choice, and since it's a choice, pray with a purpose. You know what I mean? Because if you don't pray, then you don't really have a relationship with God, and you don't grow that relationship either.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking on influence, who are some like influencers that y'all like to like watch or listen to? Because I know that there's some kids who just don't like listening to music, and like the music like doesn't really hit to them. So like
Mhm.
sometimes they go watch like podcasts or like videos
Mhm.
of influencers, and I feel like they speak more because they're like speaking to you one on one and stuff, like with background noises and music. So like, who are some influencers that y'all like to watch?
We were talking about it. We were talking about George Jenko,
Georgienko, yeah.
especially like how amazingly his impact. Have you ever watched George Jenko? You
I
remember?
feel like I heard him, or like I probably have seen some videos. I just don't know. Like, I
Can't
can't
make
make up
his
a
face.
face
Yeah.
with just a name.
He's. I was just listening to. Have you listened to the Avengers one?
Yes, yes, I have.
I just want to promote that real quick. So like, George Jacob
Not
basically
sponsored.
not sponsored at all. I really hope he gets to see our podcast eventually in the near future. But George Jenko is basically this guy who found God through a hardship of time. You know Logan Paul, right?
Yeah.
He used to be like friends. He used to work under Logan Paul, and then something happened, and then yeah, he's like
Oh,
Arabian, I
okay.
believe. I'm not. I don't want to
And
like.
then he got baptized, and then
Yes, and
yeah.
he basically that's how he got his. That's how God brought his wife to him. He prayed to God. God, I'm not gonna look for a girl, so you bring her to me, and I hope it's a godly woman who's
Mhm.
gonna lead me to God, who's gonna inspire me to like want to like thirst for God, like so that like how we want water after playing outside,
Yeah.
like that's how much we want to read the Bible, like, and basically, dude, it was a 3 hour podcast during work, and I didn't realize it. I'm over here working, and the podcast is going. I'm just like doing my thing, and the podcast ends. I look at the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been 3 hours. And the thing he's been doing is crazy.
So
Like,
did you get work done? Or
I got my work I got my work done, okay? It was like I didn't even realize how much work I'd done. Like I
Yeah.
finished my whole case. Like it was full.
Okay.
And like he brought in like all the greatest influence. Like he brought in these new generation and a bit of the old generation. He brought Stewart, he brought Clifford, Cliff, my apologies. He brought Johnny Chang. I feel like you know Johnny Chang, don't you? He's the one who went to the
Oh,
prison.
yeah.
He brought Johnny Chang, and he brought these other two. They call it
Bible sisters, something like that.
I believe so.
Sister, something.
It's like something about sister. It's about being Christian and being like sisters in Christ, and like to that was such a powerful verse because he was talking about how he felt like everything had to happen for the like for his life to be on this path.
Yeah.
And like to me, when I think about it, like when we were younger, it was just you, me, and your brother, and now like we've grown our friend groups, and not only did we grow our friend groups, also grown, we've also grown like in faith. Like I remember when we first started going to church, doing all our stuff. We were just little babies handing out those papers, those bulletins by the door. Then you went off and like you did your media stuff, doing some pro presenter.
Yeah.
And then we started like actually taking over. Like I feel like God has put us in our
And now you're
places.
leading the youngers in the media team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our boss.
Oh my gosh, I'm not a boss, but I am a God's servant. Like what do you've been gone in a minute, so like what do you think about our changes we've made? Like how I've taken the role as, I guess, what they keep calling me, the media boss. Like what do you feel about that? Like what is your perspective on that, especially since you were once part of this team?
On you leading, or like just how the group has been doing?
Just
I
how the
guess.
group has expanded, how we've been doing.
I think it's great that we have like a lot of backups, just because you never know when somebody's gonna get sick. You never know when somebody has something urgent to do. So then you have backups, and then we also have like for example, Joshua. He is a backup for the drum. He's a backup for the PowerPoint. I'm pretty sure.
Everything.
He does
Exactly.
everything.
And then we have Rachel with the camera, Priscilla. I think your sister Jamima does it too.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I just think it's great, and then we can take turn, like just somebody rest one week, and I think you guys are doing great.
Yeah, and then I'm in that team, so I'll tell y'all a little bit about it. Yeah, we've been growing. Well, we've grown with each other and we've learned from each other. So I've taken roles of like other positions. Yeah. So obviously I talked about this in the last podcast. So again, watch the last podcast if y'all want to hear more about it. So I've started off with lyrics and pro presenter, and then I've switched off to photography. So I've learned a lot from like our old photographers and like what to do and how to position stuff like that. So I've seen that we've grown as a media team. Like we went from a small group of people to like a large group of people.
Yeah, I think it used to only be like 3 people maybe.
Yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, we've just helped each other out, and I think we're all working together pretty well most of the time. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about our group is like how we said how you made your small group. We've have our small group between the media team. Last year, like I said last podcast, like again, let's promote that crazy. Um, Basically we did what was that? Youth night. We tried to do youth night. It was kind of hard trying to schedule since a lot of our team is an hour and a half away, an hour away. We're like 45 minutes away, but we were able to do youth night. Like you guys do your small groups, and oh my gosh, being at the youth night, just who did the Bible studies? Udim did the Bible studies, Dimi, and I did one. You did one too. Ken did one.
When was this?
It was last year.
Summer?
Oh, okay.
It was like during the summer. We did like 2 or 3 Bible study youth nights. We just sang some songs and we like did a prayer, and then each of us we led a Bible study,
Mm-hmm.
and to like see, I'm not even that much older, but like I basically saw Rachel grow up ever since she was little, looking like some rat walking around. I basically I watched Ken grow up. Like I was there ever since like we were like
A rat? Yo.
I know.
like it was when I mean
Now
she
look
still
like
got
this.
the beautiful
Ugh,
lady,
wow.
um and like
Mm-hmm.
to see, to like understand that like I grew up with them, and now they're able to read the Bible, dive into the Bible by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and then like teach other people. Like we have a lot of younger members. Joshua, like we said,
Yeah.
Joshua, Shenpi, Zopite came too, Mangmangte, and like even though they were playing around, I know they felt the Holy Spirit, because like I felt chills just like listening to them. And like hopefully we can have a segment on this show where we like dive in deeper into the kids, because a lot of them are baptized. Like I thought that was the craziest thing. I went away and half of our team was just baptized like that. They all found God, and it's been amazing to feel that our group is not only just a media team. We're not just that part of the world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're also finding God together. We're also stepping into the light together.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has a lot to do with our culture. Like not our culture, but like I want to say our church
Mm-hmm.
mostly, and the communities we have. Um like what are y'all's perspective, especially like I remember when we were younger we had like one or two camps a year, but now you don't like have to go to our camps. You can go to full agita. They have like a camp every month, I think, or like every 2 months.
Every month?
I'm not sure, but I think it's every summer or something. They have enough like conferences and like camps and like basically like how do you feel about the fact that we don't have to go to our camps? We already have like what 4 to 5 camps too, like 2 or 3. We go to the American ones
There we
with
go.
like a mixed group of people. Dang, cut on that. My apologies.
Literally.
And then we go there once, hopefully every year.
Hopefully, yeah.
And then we have our own where like we have special guests come out 2 or 3 days. We can learn about God through other people. Like,
Mhm.
what is y'all's opinion about how many camps, how many like ways we can connect with God?
I'd say honestly. So I'd say expose yourself more and more. I feel like camps, not just like because most of the people would just like go to church every Sunday and like that's their only way of like living their like Christian life ish kind of. But I'd say I've never really went to camps when I was younger, but I try more now since I've like known and like seen how it is. So I'd say expose yourself a lot more and go to all these like camps are given to you, and there's like all the opportunities because you'll learn from each every single one. Every year is all different. I feel like the message is all different, and you'll feel different every time. Like we went to the Georgia Youth AG Youth camp, the district
Last
one.
summer?
Yeah, last summer. The American
Okay.
camp, and wow,
It looks really fun.
it was so fun.
Caught a spring camp kind of vibes.
Fire.
So speakers, the speaker was amazing, short, simple, but his
Understandable.
his message was very understandable. It's quick and like it was just touching. And then the worship, we had this like pre prayer worship or something, pre service worship
Mhm.
where you all like worship together and like you pray with each other, and it was like so moving. And like I feel like we've and I feel like we've never in our culture we've never experienced that from the camps that I've been to in our culture. We've never like experienced that kind of like service prayer ish kind of. So I felt that was really moving, and yeah, just go to all the opportunities you can. Go to the camps. They're really life changing and they're all different. So yeah.
Yeah, I also think going to camps and stuff like that is great just because you get to make so many new Christian friends. And then you can start your own groups, more groups, you know what I mean? And yeah, I really think is camps are great. Especially because like sometimes you want to learn something from somebody else, not just your
Right.
home church. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so then, yeah,
Just branching out.
honestly, yeah,
I mean,
getting yourself out there.
I feel like I'm just surprised how much you didn't know about that. About what, man, a lot happened last year while you were gone.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Because when you were
I
making the
think
faces about the American camp, I didn't know you didn't know that about.
no, I saw that you guys went to the camp, but like, yeah, I guess I didn't really like. I only saw like the video, like the short clips of it, and that was it.
The
Yeah.
edits and stuff.
Mhm.
Hey, shout out to the media, social
Whoop,
media
whoop,
managers.
whoop, whoop.
They were able to make these type of video.
Yes, was kind of fun looking back at it. Definitely fun looking back when I fell and slipped, trying to play games and stuff. So,
Oh. Mhm.
yeah. So I want to ask one question to Loon. You came back from obviously being deployed, so and you transitioned so quickly back into like serving for a church. How do you like go about that? How do you how did that feel? Like you when you came back, you immediately became a Sunday school teacher. You
Ye-
just continued your
Because God wanted her
I
to.
actually talked about this during parent teacher conference for the Sunday school kids, but at first I wasn't gonna do it just because like I'm in the guard, so then we have drill like every month, and I wasn't sure, like especially like the teacher I'm helping right now, she's pregnant and she's about to give birth. I think in like the beginning of May.
She's almost there.
Yeah, she's about to be there. She's about to pop. But so I wasn't sure like how like when I go to drill, who's gonna take care of the kids and stuff like that. But I was like, I'm gonna just leave it in God's hand. I just prayed about it, and I was like, okay, I think I'll do it. I think I just want to um serve in any way I could.
Amen.
Yeah, especially because I'm not great at singing, so can't serve in the praise and worship.
She's lying, guys. Go back to her old clips.
Very
She was
monotone.
on. She was on worship team.
Yeah, no, I was there, but it wasn't great.
But
I
like you
was
said,
just reading the words.